In Havana, the lights are going out. But this isn't just another blackout. It's the spark of a new geopolitical confrontation. This week, an executive order transformed energy into a weapon. The target, Cuba's last remaining fuel lifelines. The mechanism, tariffs on any country shipping petroleum to the island. With tensions at their highest since the missile crisis, Washington isn't targeting Havana directly. It's targeting everyone who might help. This is energy warfare by proxy. The math is brutal. Last year, 90% of Cuba's fuel came from just 2 countries. This month, that system collapsed. First, Venezuela's oil stopped when Maduro was captured. Then Mexico paused its shipment. Then Thursday's executive order, any country supplying Cuba faces tariffs. Mexican President Claudia Sheinbaum walks a tightrope. Mexico will seek alternatives, obviously in defense of Mexico, but also to provide humanitarian aid to the Cuban people. Cuban President Miguel Diaz-Canel calls the move genocidal. Analysts say this could be the most powerful economic blow the U.S. has ever dealt to the island. For Cubans already enduring rolling blackouts, this isn't geopolitical theory. It's spoiled food, undrinkable water, and another layer of crisis. The mechanism is indirect pressure. Instead of confronting Cuba directly, Washington pressures its suppliers. It's a classic siege strategy. Cut supply lines, not attack the fortress. The executive order gives broad discretion. The administration decides which countries are supplying Cuba and what tariffs to impose. The uncertainty itself becomes a deterrent. For Mexico, the calculation is brutal. Risk $614 billion in U.S. trade, or abandon historical solidarity. Sheinbaum's humanitarian framing attempts to navigate this. Cuba produces some domestic crude and is rushing to install solar panels with Chinese help. But the gap is massive. For now, alternatives can't replace imported fuel. Tensions haven't been this high since 1962, but the weapons have changed. Instead of nuclear missiles, it's economic tariffs. Instead of naval blockades, it's energy interdiction. The implications extend beyond Cuba. Mexico-US relations face new stress. Venezuela's collapse creates regional instability. China sees opportunity. Every supplier nation recalculates. Diaz-Canel's genocidal accusation raises legal questions. When does economic pressure become collective punishment? International law offers unclear answers for energy warfare. And if pressure creates collapse, history suggests migration waves to Florida, to Mexico's Yucatan. Throughout the region, the humanitarian crisis doesn't respect borders. The fundamental question, does cutting energy topple governments, or just immiserate populations? We've seen this pattern before. Maximum pressure campaigns promise regime change but often produce humanitarian crisis and unpredictable outcomes. For now, Cubans do what they've always done: survive the crisis. While geopolitics plays out in capitals, the real test happens in darkened homes. This has been a DHU Investigations analysis.